Since the source is really the source of your sight, how can your vision be warped? This is the question that gets the Buddha to explain how we perceive incorrectly with and despite our sacred source. By pointing out the wrong ways to see, the Buddha is in essence telling us the right way to see, to perceive, to experience and use our senses and material elements. With the source, you should be able to perceive all with sanctity and all as holy, but you do manage to add a couple of twists to botch up your holy see. And these two erroneous visions are not exclusive. You can have rainbow vision while being a member of a collective that sees all sorts of extraordinary astrological omens, for example. How do we botch up our sacred source for sight through karma? The Buddha tells about rainbow vision, the eye disease where you see rainbow halos around bright lights. Is the ring of rainbow a light from the light source or your source of seeing? If the rainbow halo is from a source of light, then anyone, whether with eye disease or not, should see it. If the rainbow halo is from your source of seeing, then your source of seeing is already formed. What might be the rainbow halo seen by someone with rainbow vision? If physical phenomena such as rainbow halo is real, why don't people with healthy eyes see it? If physical phenomena such as rainbow halo exists in the source itself becomes a physical phenomenon that cannot possibly see itself, and not to mention seeing a ring of rainbow. Those with no eye impairment symbolically represent Buddhists, those who have ended all ignorance, hence equivalent to being disease-free. They do not have rainbow vision. So only the sick or the ignorant see rainbow halos. All have the sacred source. What differentiates how Buddhists and average beings see karma? If rainbow halo exists apart from lighting or sight, it would appear on the table, chair, wall, etc. How come people with rainbow vision and only those with the disease of rainbow vision see rings of rainbow? And why do they need eyes to see? Why do they need the source to see? At this juncture, you must know that rainbow halo occurs only where the lights are bright, not just where there are tables or chairs and other things. Rainbow vision is a shadow-like impairment of the eye. This shadow occluding the eye is a disease of the eye. The eye itself is not a disease, and the source of seeing is certainly not a disease or diseased. Since this impairment is only a shadow and nothing substantive, avoid associating it with lights or vision. Just as you squeeze your eye and see two moons sometimes, where the second moon is neither substantive nor a shadow, you should not call the eye that you squeeze a shape or not a shape, vision or blindness. For instance, people on one landmass see two moons, or rings around the sun or moon, rainbows or comets, while others outside this collective are oblivious. The reason that we see the environment, landscape, and different beings is because of this disease of fundamental ignorance. Eyesight and objects seen seem apparent, but these are the shadows of ignorance over the enlightened source. The source itself is not diseased. While the enlightened source may be enshrouded by impairments, realizing that it is enshrouded by impairments, it transcends impairments. Similarly, as the source sees the way vision sees, it transcends sight, and yet the perceiver is one. For this reason, everything that you see is obscured by the disease to the eye, not the seeing itself, and certainly not the source of seeing. The source that can observe the disease to the eye is not diseased, hence is not eyesight. Fortunately, even your vision and vision problems are illusory. You can transform your karma and ignorance through listening as a meditation, because all illusions come into being and cease to be right where they are. By reaching their source, the source of perfect enlightenment that neither comes nor goes, you abide in perpetual bliss. The source is the source for form, feeling, thinking, volition, and consciousness. The source is the source for our vision, hearing, smell, taste, sensation, and thought. The source is the source for the subject that sees, hears, smells, tastes, feels, and cognates. The source is the source for the object that is seen, heard, smelled, tasted, felt, and thought about. However, our vision, hearing, smell, taste, sensation, and thinking can be obscured, creating an impairment to that sense faculty. Were we to understand that we may heal the shadow-like disease to our senses by practice, especially by the practice of listening as meditation, we can heal one sense at a time until all 6 senses are clear and clearly connected to the source. We should understand, too, that all are illusory, including the impairment, the senses associated with the impairment, and yet the source is free from any illusion. Illusions are like reflections to a mirror. They're indeed part of the mirror, but really the mirror is free from any of the things reflected in it.